looks pretty bad, but I think maybe in a couple of days I can get it knocked out enough that I can get in here to my drawing table. So it's October now, and September and October have always been a transitional time for me during the year where I can start really focusing on my artwork. I know there's a lot of emphasis put on the new year, but I always feel like September, October, that those couple of months are the times when I'm able to start new projects, work on some goals, things like that. So for me personally, things are always winding down here. My gardens are starting to produce less. Plus, the kids are in school now. So a lot of times it's not just about carving out the time to make your creative work, but it's also about making the space for it, which is something I'm going to need to do because I want to start painting again. And the past few years, I've been doing almost all of my work on a computer. So when it came to that, all I needed to do was just sort of straighten up my desk space, turn on my computer and get started. But now I want to go back to painting, so I need to make a space for that. So I built myself a studio space many years ago, which I used regularly until I started focusing more on computer work. And that space, since it wasn't being used as a studio space, it became a storage space. So it is really piled up and kind of junky in there. So I'm going to work on that, try to get that cleaned up, and then I'll have a space to paint. So I'll give you a quick look at what my studio space has become over the past few years. We got a lot of boxes. You see some old paintings sitting around. Here's a painting I was working on as an illustration for a postcard job that I got. Got some comic books and magazines. Here's another illustration I did for a short story I wrote. So I grow my own tobacco. I don't grow it to sell. I grow it because I like to make cigars and pipe tobacco. So I've hung it all up in here to cure. So it's kind of done now. So I can box all of that up and put it away. I'll get in here and get this cleaned up and have my space ready for a whole season of making art. So invariably, when I'm cleaning like this, I wind up coming across things that get me distracted, old sketchbooks and things that I've been inspired by, but in the past that I forgot about, and then I find them again. But I also came across some of my old artwork. Some of it I thought I had already sold, and some of it I just didn't know where it was because I've got a lot of paintings in storage. I thought I'd share those real fast. Since the lighting's not great in here, I'll hold them up, but then I'll put up a still image of them. So here's one. Let's see. I did this one in 2009, and I've always liked this one. It never really got a great reception at galleries. I think the subject matter's maybe a little off for most people. I have a great memory of this. When I was painting this, my son was 3 years old at the time, and he came in while I was painting it, and he was needing something, and he was like, "Hey, Daddy," and then he saw it, and he goes, "Whoa!" So at least I impressed him. So this one here is from 2014. This is from 2004, so this was 20 years old. Huh. Got another one from a few years ago, I'm going to say 2006. These are my smaller works. This one I did in 2009. Most of my larger works are in storage elsewhere, and then I have some of them hanging on the wall in my house. took me about 3 days to get everything cleared out. I built this art studio for myself about 15 years ago. It's just a room that's attached to one of my outbuildings. I like to surround myself with images or things that inspire me, either artwork that I've made or that other people have made. You see I have some posters and prints by one of my favorite artists, Frank Frazetta, an illustrator, and some miniatures that I built when my son was into Dungeons and Dragons. My friend Ron Moyers made this map for me. It's a map of the town of Clayfield, which was the setting for some of my books. This is a wood burning that I purchased from a man who came into one of the galleries where I worked. Here's a fish I made out of gourd pieces. And I'm looking forward to getting some good use out of this space again.